This is your Queen Money Rodriguez, the DJ Rock On Show, sitting with the lovely Deshnae Johnson, owner of VIP Credit Repair. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well yourself.
I'm good. Thank you for sitting down with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So we are going to talk about credit today, people, which is something that is important to everyone, especially in our community. A lot of people think that it's not something that they need to have, or it doesn't play a major role in their financial stability, which I feel is an incorrect way to think.
Correct.
Okay, so how long have you been providing your services to the community?
Almost going on 2 years now. We started, I want to say August or November of 2017.
Okay.
So it's been about almost 2 years since we've been assisting clients. We've serviced over 4,000 people all over the country.
Kudos.
Right now we have about an active 1,000 clients, which is
Okay.
good. But we would like to, service more people and get the word out more.
Right. Now, is that something that you started here? Are you originally from this area?
I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. So my
Okay.
first location was in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Okay.
We opened a second location in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But we do reside in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So you have two businesses then.
One business, two locations.
Okay. Kudos on that. Now, do you feel, like I just stated in the beginning, do you feel that your services would be extremely beneficial in our community, the Black community?
Absolutely.
Black, brown, minorities.
Yes, absolutely. Because that's not something that we're taught. Even for myself, coming from, a decent family, decent background, although my parents had good credit, that wasn't a conversation that we ever had.
Right.
It was just basically you just pay your bills and you're expected to have good credit when that's not really how it works.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that you should know about using a credit card, how to use a credit card, how to pay a credit card in order to to get the maximize the points that you're allowed to get for credit.
Okay.
Our parents don't know that. They just pay their bills.
Right.
They
right.
were afraid.
If you pay it on time, you're good, basically.
So they don't, I don't even think they knew their credit scores. They would just apply for things, and if they were approved, they assumed they had good credit.
Okay.
Not caring about the interest rates or the down payment. That didn't matter to them, because as long as, like I said, as long as they were approved, they felt that the credit was at a decent place.
Okay.
So it is something that we should talk about or speak more about, especially to our children. People that we're dealing with, your spouse. That's something that has to be talked about prior to marriage.
Yeah, because doesn't that play a major factor? Like, if, say, I was to get married tomorrow, hypothetically, and my credit was A1, but my husband's wasn't, taking on his last name, kind of like, does it null and void?
No. So actually what happens is when you get married, the credit report does not merge.
Okay.
It's still separate unless there are joint accounts. That's what merges on the credit report. But it is it is a setback if you marry someone who is not the same standing that you are, because, for example, you would go to apply for a loan for a home and you may need his income because he may make more than you.
Right.
Whereas though you have the credit but not enough income, and now you can't use him because his credit is not where it needs to be.
Right.
So that's something that has to be talked about and has to be looked at prior to getting in a serious relation with someone, because you can't really achieve your goals if they're not if you're not in the same place. So that's definitely something that I teach to my clients. We don't only take credit repair clients and do the work for them. We also educate them so that they won't ever have to be in the same situation again.
How are your clients found?
Oh, okay. So this is what happened. So we started the business. My first month, we literally had like one or two clients.
Okay.
And then the word got out really fast. And then by the end of, I think by December of 2017, we were at like 200-300 clients.
Wow, very good.
Because I want to say I was the first one in my community that really not only was saying I was doing credit repair, but I was educating as well at no charge. Meaning I would post so much information that was new to people, and they're like, "Oh my God, this person knows what she's doing. Like, let me deal with her." So word got out fast. People were seeing results. They were posting, sharing. So it was really a lot of word of mouth.
Which can be the best advertisement.
Yeah, it is. And so a lot of my clientele came from referrals and Facebook and things like social media, from clients allowing me to post their results or them posting their results for me and tagging me.
Okay.
So that's how, from there just blew up.
And with social media, it's worldwide. So, you may be from one area, but you have a friend in Washington, D.C. or in Arkansas. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Well, direct me to her, please.
We were getting clients from Texas, Alabama.
That's good, though.
You name it.
That's good. Because, again, that word of mouth spreads within their area, their group, their people that they know, which will bring more your way.
Yeah.
Okay. How can a credit repair company help to restore someone's credit?
So some people come to you and they think that you can just magically clean their credit, and that's not the way it works. The client does their part and you do yours. As a credit repair company, what we do is we analyze the report to see the negative and the derogatories and see, what collections are in there, student loans, liens, bankruptcies, late payments, repos, medical bills. There's so much to see. So we decide, what has to go, what's negative and what's inaccurate, by discussing with the client. What the client has to do while working with us, they cannot make any late payments.
Okay.
Late payments is 35% of your score. One single late payment is worth almost sometimes 100 points, depending on what it is. So 35% of your score is your payment history. 15% is the length of your credit.
Okay.
Another 30% is how much of the credit you're utilizing.
Okay.
Then you have 10% for inquiries. That's every time
someone runs your credit, correct? So that is true. That does affect
the score. It's 2 to 5 points, and it stays on the report for 2 years.
Wow.
Okay. And then another 10% is the mix of credit.
Okay.
Type of credit that you have. So we work with the clients to not only dispute and have the negative and derogatory remarks removed, but to add positive history, because now we need the client to have a mix of credit. So we tell them what credit cards to apply for, how to use them. Again, utilization is 30%. So if a client gets a $900 credit card and they use $900,
right,
you're at 100% utilization. So what we're teaching them is to stay under 30%, and for best results, stay under 10%. A lot of people don't know there's a difference between a statement date and a due date. Your statement date comes out 21 days before the due date.
Okay.
For example, you had an emergency this month. You needed to max out that card. What you don't want to happen is the credit bureaus to find out that you maxed out that card, because that's what's going to hit your report.
Okay. So
you would, for example, for that $900 card, you should be using no more than about 100. 30% would be what, $240.
Okay.
30. I'm
it's
not
okay.
a mathematician.
It's okay.
I think it's about $240. So no, $270. So let's just say you went over that and you don't want your score to drop. So what you would do is, before the statement date, you would pay that difference. You would get it down to under 270.
Okay.
So that
before it even comes to you.
Before the statement hits. So when the statement hits, you're at a 30% or lower utilization, and that's what's being reported to the credit bureau.
Okay.
And then on a due date, you make another payment.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So that way, so people don't know that. People feel like, oh, I have a credit card as long as I pay my bill.
When it comes in the mail, I'm good.
It doesn't work that way. What's being reported to the credit bureau is what you need to be worried about.
Okay.
So again, making a payment before the statement date and another payment on the due date will keep you at a low utilization.
Okay.
The more available credit you have, the better your score will be.
Okay.
So a credit doesn't care that you have a $10,000 credit cards and you have $20,000 credit cards. It's what you have available that matters. That's what shows your responsibility. That's what shows that you're taking good care of your credit, and that you're not a high risk You're not a high risk. It wouldn't be a high risk to lend to you.
Right.
But someone utilizing every bit of credit they have, that's
you're
not
kind of like
they're kind of
washing it out. Right.
So we teach our clients that, and they're so grateful and thankful. A lot of our clients have been able to close on homes. A lot of them, been able to purchase cars, no down payment, low interest rate. We even teach our clients how to shop for cars. For example, people feel like they can just go to a car dealer and go get a car. Doesn't work like that, because what happens is when you go to the car dealer, they're shopping for you. They don't care what rate you get. They just want to get an approval.
Right.
So let's say it takes them 8 8 applications before they get you approved. That's eight
times.
That's 8 times your credit was pulled that one day.
Right.
Whereas though you go to your credit union, you get the approval from them. That's one inquiry. You take your pre-approval to the dealer. That way you have buying power because they already know what you can spend, what you're gonna get. You get this. They don't just get to put you in whatever car they want just to have a sale.
Right.
You came with the amount that you're able to spend, so they know what you know. They know what you know what you want.
Right.
And they don't have to pull your credit. It's an easy transaction. It's done in one day. Can be done in one day, depending on who your credit union is, and you don't incur all of those inquiries.
Right.
So that's another thing that's important that people don't know about. So we teach them all of that.
Now, do you feel banking with a credit union is more beneficial than banking with a regular bank?
I think you should do both. I think you should have not multiple, but a couple of accounts for different reasons. Credit union someone should always have a credit union because they will always offer you the lowest interest rates, the lowest APRs. They're more lenient and more forgiving as well. Where you have a lot of credit unions that even help you with your credit. They do have something similar, but not. They have kind of debt consolidation program to help you with take out a loan to pay off your debt, things like that. So that is very beneficial depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to do. But it's definitely important to bank with a credit union.
Okay. Do you have a fixed price or does it vary with each customer?
No, it's actually a fixed price. So right now the price is, to be honest, you're gonna laugh because it's so low, but it's only $125 and it gives you 3 months of service. Now some people might think 3 months is not fast, but as opposed to other companies, we used to charge a monthly fee, but then we would run into clients who sometimes they would love the service, but this month they would say, "Oh, Dash, can you not do anything this month for me?"
Right.
And and then start me back up next month. I'm having a hard time this month. So I don't like to start it and then stop. I want to see the results. I want to see you, be where you should be. So we decided to just come out with a flat rate, one-time fee, work with the clients for 3 months. If they need longer than 3 months,
then it's just
we'll just re-enroll. It's another $125. But that way it's fair, it's affordable. Everyone, no one has an excuse why they can't, continue.
One time,
It's a one-time fee, and a lot of people think, just because I say 3 months, that's not enough time. No, that's a lot of time because what we do is, unlike other companies, we don't dispute a few items at a time.
Okay.
You come to me with 40 accounts that need to be disputed. That month, you're disputing 40 accounts. Results come in 30 to 45 days. If the 30 to 45 days and I see 20 accounts deleted and you see 20 accounts deleted, the following month, we only have 20 more accounts to go.
Work on, right.
As opposed to me spoon feeding you and we're only disputing 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, where you got to keep paying. That's not how it works.
Right.
So we dispute is anything that's derogatory or, inaccurate. No limitation. Doesn't matter how many accounts you have, we dispute it all.
Now, is it true that after a certain amount of time, things are automatically removed from your credit?
Correct. That is correct.
Okay.
So, derogatory information can only be reported for 7 years.
Okay.
What some people don't know is because it can only be reported for 7 years, when these collection companies, what they do is they pay pennies on a dollar for your debt. So when they're calling you, it's not because they verify that you actually owe this debt. They're just trying to get a payment because they bought a spreadsheet with your information.
Name on it, correct.
And they want to get paid. So a lot of people, they get afraid or they get these threatening letters and they get a little bit of money in their pockets. They go, let me pay this off. What you doing when you're paying a collection that is on your credit report is your reagent debt. For example, state of New Jersey statute of limitation is 6 years. They can report you for 7 years, but they can only collect money from you for the first 6 years.
Okay.
When these collective agencies get close to the statute of limitation, they start to harass you because they know they can't collect. Once you make one payment or an arrangement to make the payment, you just restarted the clock.
Wow.
So that's why it's resold over and over and it lasts so long. And people don't know that.
Okay.
So what you should be doing is no matter what the information it is on your credit report, if it is derogatory or if it may be accurate, you should always request an investigation. You want to question the accuracy of this account.
Okay.
They may not have your up-to-date information. They may not have any information. They may not have your signature. They may not have a copy of your ID. They may not have your full social. They may not have your complete address. Does not matter what the information was back then. They need the information as of right now. The information that they have right now needs to be current, needs to be accurate. They don't have that. They don't have a right to report it to the credit. Does not mean you don't owe them. It means they don't have a right to affect your credit. It needs to be removed. Now, once the debt is removed, once the account is removed from your credit report, that is when you decide, is it in a statute of limitations? Does this creditor have is this creditor registered and licensed to collect in my state?
Okay.
That's another big thing. They're not licensed to collect in your state. Only about 13 states don't participate in this. If they're not licensed to collect in your state, they may not be able to collect take anything from you. You need to know the age of the debt, the actual amount. A lot of things you need to know before you just go out just paying people.
A lot of loopholes that people are not aware of.
They're not aware of. So that's another thing that we teach our clients as well. So, a lot of clients, they start working with you, and as soon as they start working with you, hey, I just got this letter. Should I pay this? No. Let me see if I can get it off your report.
Right.
And then if at that time it needs to be paid, then you'll work on that. But don't pay me and then start trying to pay all these people, because what happens is you pay me to try to remove it, but when you pay them, you just verify the debt.
Right.
Why would you pay for something that you're saying may not be yours or may not be accurate?
Right.
By paying it, you're verifying the debt. And paying something does not mean that it comes off your report.
It just means you paid it.
It just means you paid it.
Right.
That's still your part of your credit history. A lot of people will say, hey, I paid this. Why is it on my credit? Paying it does not mean, they have to remove it. Mm-hmm. Did you make an agreement for a pay to delete? Meaning if I pay this, you have to delete this? You didn't do that. You just paid them. They have a right to report that for another 7 years once you pay it.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
So yeah, it's a lot.
Crafty.
It's crafty,
yes. But these are things that people are not aware of, because just sitting here speaking with you, you're enlightening me to things that I wasn't aware of. And I used to work for a credit collections agency. Mm-hmm. Of course, that's not something that is in our script to read to people when we're calling, getting them to, make a payment, you know? And I actually didn't last very long because I couldn't threaten people I just wasn't able to do that because I understand. Mm-hmm. Like, not everyone has it. Maybe they're not just saying, well, I'm not going to pay it. Maybe they really don't have the means.
Yeah, people don't like to be in debt. People don't like to get those phone calls. A lot of people really don't. They can't. They're basically working check to check, paying bills, or sometimes when you get a little extra cushion to have a little money, something happens.
Yes.
Car breakdown.
Yeah, right. Something. And you're just like, oh my goodness. Like,
you're back to square one. So it's hard. But again, there are laws from, and they have to, the creditors and creditors and collection agents, they have to abide by the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Okay.
There are laws that govern, the collection agencies and the creditors.
Protect the people in debt.
Exactly. So, don't be afraid to speak to a creditor. Don't be afraid. Don't ignore them. Speak to them. Let them know that you know your rights. You understand? So don't just ignore because it piles up and piles up. So I have people who have garnishments, and it's not because they actually owe the debt or the creditor or the collection agency went about it the right way. It's because they ignored it.
Right.
Go to court. If they're sending you to court, go to court. Go fight it. Don't just let these things happen. And a lot of times these people are not following laws and guidelines, and now you're paying for something that you should not be paying for.
Okay. How long does it usually take for people to see an improvement?
Okay. So
does it vary?
A change, I can say you can see change. I'm not going to say you're going to see improvement, because what happens is no matter if you dispute something, if anyone disputes anything, the credit bureaus have 30 days to investigate and give you an answer. 45 days if you receive the free annual report.
Okay.
So it's 30 to 45 days is the time frame we give our clients. Keep in mind, just because something is being disputed and it comes off doesn't always mean your score will increase.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. I may see 10 derogatory accounts on your report. I dispute all 10 and have them removed. Your score may drop because that was the only credit that you had. You had no credit.
Okay.
It's still good though, because now you got rid of the derogatory. Now you can rebuild. So a person who doesn't really know much about it and they just started with you and they score dropped 30, 40 points, they're like, hey, you deleted my account, but my score dropped. And you explain to them you have no credit. Now you have to rebuild.
Right.
But all the derogatory is gone, so it makes it easier to rebuild.
It's kind of like a clean slate.
Big increase. You'll see a big increase once you get to that point. But just because you sign up, don't immediately think, oh, in 30 days I'm going to have A1 credit. No, it may drop in the beginning. Credit is fluid. It fluctuates. Every day your credit score can change. One simple, addition or subtraction to your credit allows the score to change. So don't just think because you're getting credit repair, you're going to always be on the upward. It may go down. It's going to fluctuate. Mm-hmm. But what's the most important thing is cleaning that profile, getting all the derogatory accounts off, getting all the negatives off, getting those late payments, cleaning the profile to the point where it's not going to be hard to gain the score because you've cleaned the report.
Okay. Now is a low credit score and a no credit, are they basically the same thing? Which one is it the same to build from either one of those? Or
I want to say this. A person with no credit is just as bad as a person with bad credit.
Okay.
Because the creditor still will not lend to you because they don't have any history. It's just like a report card.
Right.
I don't know your grades. I don't know what you've been doing.
Right.
You're still risky. In order to be considered with a good enough credit profile, you need about 6 to 7 years of history.
Okay.
So, what I advise is when you don't have any credit, you start to build right away. But what you also should do is if you have someone that has good credit, you ask them, hey, do you mind if I'm an authorized user on your account? Someone who has A1 credit, someone who's never made a late payment on that account, someone who keeps their utilization low. They don't have to give you a card. They just have to call the credit card company and say, hey, I want to add my friend, or I want to add my sister, and then they add you on. Now you inherit the age of the credit.
Okay.
You inherit the limit that they have. It's reported to your credit. So instead of your credit being 2-3 months old, if that person's credit is 6 years old, your credit is 6 years old. Okay. But you're not affecting them because you are not receiving a card, so they don't have to worry about you going out and maxing out their card.
Right.
All they're doing is helping you build.
Right. Kind of like a cosign.
Correct. And if at any time that person begins to use more of the credit card than what they initially were, and it begins to, affect you, you can always remove yourself, and you're not liable for that card. You're not responsible for that card. You can always say, hey, I need you to remove me from that card.
Okay.
Because it's dropping my score.
Okay. What do you require to start the process of credit repair?
To start the process, we do a consultation most of the time. A lot of people, they know they have bad credit. Right. They want the help. They just go and pay. But normally what I would require is at least a conversation. I would like to know what your goals are. What do you expect out of the program? I can tell you what we're going to do on our end, what we expect from you, what we require from you. So all the thing we need from you is we need to see a credit report so that we're not just hypothetically speaking. I need to see, what the derogatories are, how much credit you have, if you have credit, what can or can't be done, just to give you a realistic and honest opinion of, what you should be expecting.
Now, do they provide you with that credit report, or is that once you guys agree, yes, I'd like to do business with you, yes, I'd like, for you to assist me, take your services on, do you get that credit report for them, or do they have to present that to you?
Okay, so credit repair companies are not allowed to pull credit reports.
Okay.
So anytime you're dealing with a client, they have to pull their own report. What I do is, if a client has Credit Karma, although I'm not really in favor of Credit Karma scores because they're Vantage scores and most lenders are dealing with FICO scores, which that's a whole nother conversation. Okay. But it's not the score that they'll see if they might be on Credit Karma and they see a 600 and they go to a lender and say, oh, you're a 450. Oh. It's a different scoring model.
Right.
So that's not the score that they should be looking at. So what I'm worried about is the account. So because Credit Karma is free and most people have it, I'll say, hey, show me your Credit Karma. Give me the login or send me screenshots of your Credit Karma. That way I can analyze and see what accounts they have. Once they become a client, though, I need a report. I need a full report with all 3 credit bureaus. I need to see your scores. I need to see the report in its entirety. So that is at that point they would pay for a report. We use a company called Identity IQ. It's $21.99 a month, and that is a requirement while we are working with you, because we cannot work with you if we don't have a brand new report every month.
Okay.
I need to track changes. I need to track deletions. I need to track increases, decreases, and things of that matter. The only way to do that is to pull a fresh report every month.
Okay. Do you branch out and work with other companies, or do you keep it home based?
So when I first started, I worked with I had a lot of like realtors reaching out to me and stuff. So it was good. Mortgage lenders, things like that. So I went and took the real estate class for Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Then I'm like, you know what? My clients, they really, I love real estate, but it does not put me where I need to be as far as getting them approved. Because you deal with a realtor once you're already pre-approved, once you're shopping for the house, which is fun, but it's not what my clients really need. So I just took my mortgage loan officer originator exam for New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Very good.
So that we can, although I walk my clients through the home buying process, now I can pre-approve them. I don't have to send them out.
Right.
I can pre-approve them and say, hey, you're at a place where you need to be. First of all, I can say I need X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And when they're ready, when I know they're ready and they know they're ready, I can say, hey, okay, I need your credit report. I need to see your I need your income, proof of income, last 2 tax. I can get all the information that they need to get them pre-approved. And I can close the deal.
Very good.
So I'm excited about that.
Yes, very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You do handle removing faulty and derogatory items from people's credit scores to basically take the pressure off of them.
Correct.
That is one of your main things in your business. And you did state they will not always see an impact right away. Like it may not always occur ASAP.
So what happens is, as long as someone is working on your credit, in 30 to 45 days, you're guaranteed to see change. That's what you're looking for.
Right.
Change.
Right.
Might be positive, might be negative. But if you don't see anything,
there's a problem.
There's no one working on your credit.
Right.
But the fact that you see things came off or the score changed, or that means someone's working on your credit.
Okay.
So that's what you'll see. You'll see that we're working. You'll see that you may be one of the lucky ones and you may have a high increase within the first 30 days. Or you may, it may start off slow for you, or you may see a little decrease.
Right.
But the fact that you know that we're working on it, and then every month you have something to look forward to, because more and more changes are going to come.
Now, do you feel, or have you seen in your line of work that with us, minorities, they place different interest rates on us, and which makes things a little bit more difficult, makes our climb harder, with banking and with loans and mortgages and things of that nature, and they expect our credit scores to be higher than someone else's?
I wouldn't say that it's just with minorities, only because I haven't dealt too much with, I've really only been dealing with our communities.
Okay.
I've had, other races and things like that, but I haven't had the experience. But I do know that we're already at a disadvantage because of the lack of education. Mm-hmm. So whereas though, for example, a lot of different, races or nationalities, they teach their children, when a kid is 18 years old, they're already at 800. Why? Because their parent at the age of 13, 14, 15 added them as an authorized user, started building credit for them.
Unbeknownst to them, they weren't even aware.
They didn't even know about it.
Right.
Whereas though we
might not have that advantage to pass that advantage to our children.
So we're expected to be at a place where we had no help to get to. So for example, like You tell your mom, hey mom, put me on your credit card to build my score. What?
No, right. No, right.
You know, but that's because again, they weren't educated. They don't know that it's helping us and not affecting us.
Right.
Another thing is, I see where our people, like, we're pushed out too soon. Like, at the age of 18,
let's go. Yes.
You gotta go. You either going to college. Right. A lot of them going to college on their own. Community college, taking out these loans, taking out all this debt. Whereas other nationalities, their parents have savings and funding, and you know they made ways for them. They planned ahead for them. Whereas us, you 18 years old or you get pregnant, goodbye.
Right.
Like so, at the age of 17, I had my own apartment. What does that mean? Does that mean I was responsible? Hell no.
Right.
I had a lot of bills. I had a lot of debt. I started messing up my credit before I was even old enough to have credit.
Right.
Because I was putting light bills in my name. Rent was in my name. I was getting evictions. You know? I was 18. I got my first credit card. I never knew anything about a credit card. I went that first day and maxed that credit card out. You know?
You're like, whoa, I got this money.
So,
right.
You know, we would just get things, but we were never taught how to keep them.
Think for the future.
So I'm not sure about the interest rate, but I do know that it's harder for us because we're not educated.
Okay. Contact information, where you can be reached, social media, email, all of that.
Okay. So I can be reached at you can call VIP Credit Repair at 1-844-453-8115. You can also reach us via email at support@VIPcreditrepairllc.com. You can find our website, www.vipcreditrepairllc.com. We also own an online credit repair school for people who want to get into the business.
Okay.
And it's called VIPcreditrepairacademy.com.
Okay.
You can find me on Facebook at Dashnay Johnson. DASHNAY Johnson. You can also find the business on Facebook, VIP Credit Repair LLC, and you can find us on Instagram, VIP Credit Repair LLC.
Okay. Well, thank you for your contribution.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Also we need this in our community, so I salute you on that. Thank you very much.
This is Dashnay Johnson, owner of VIP Credit Repair. Came down, had an amazing interview with DJ Rock On, Money Rodriguez, and Mr. Multi Hustle Life. Had an amazing interview, y'all. It was great.